All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? Yo, uh, all right, we're back here, people. Welcome to Uncle Benu's channel. I know it's been a while, right? You're probably thinking, what happened, Uncle Benu? We haven't seen you here for a while. Well, you know how we roll, man. So, about 3 months ago, YouTube decided to demonetize Uncle Beno's channel. And I remember I told you guys at the time that YouTube is just messing with me. They do that all the time with almost every new channel. When YouTube discovered that you started making waves, people are turning into your channel, then they're gonna think that, okay, maybe this is just one of those scam channels, maybe it's not real. And when you make some money, and then come the time when they are gonna pay you, YouTube wanna check if truly you are real, if you own the channel. So somehow YouTube gonna find an excuse to say, hey, you have reused somebody's content, so we're gonna demonetize you. So that's what happened. I knew it. I knew after 3 months, Uncle Beno is gonna be back up, and we're gonna do what we do best. If this is the first time you're watching Uncle Beno channel, please subscribe to the channel. Here we just have heart to heart, as an uncle. I give my opinion on some of the issues out there, and I encourage others to at least contribute their quota. So if you're watching this, I know I'm not expecting a lot of people to see this right now because this is the first time I'm going back live after a while. But if you're watching, please hit the like button and let's get this conversation going. All right, this is actually a very quick one. So I came across this clip on social media where a woman described her ordeal. Like, she literally described what she's dealing with her daughter. So her daughter is 14 years old and she got the baby from her prior marriage, and now she's married to another great guy, and this guy is really a good dad. Together they have 3 sons. So the daughter is the eldest, and life is good. Life is good. I see 3 people watching. If you are watching this, please hit the like button. You can give me a shout out. Let me know you're here so I can recognize your presence. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but yeah, it's Uncle Beno. We're gonna come back and do what we do best, people. So, as I was saying in the story, everything is fine in her new marriage. She married to a great guy, great husband, great father. But her daughter that she got from her previous marriage is actually living with them. And the dad was actually not that active in her life. I think the dad is more or less like those people you describe as deadbeat dads. So somehow the daughter felt she supposed to have the same last name just like her siblings, the 3 boys. This really is not supposed to be a big deal, but in this day and time with Gen Z, you really can't tell, okay? Gen Z will literally make a mountain out of nothing. So the daughter was worried that, okay, maybe when they have to attend some functions like in school, the younger brothers answer to their father's name, and then she has to be called and answer to a different last name. So this was bothering her, and then she told her mom she want to change her last name. And her mom think that was wrong. She shouldn't make a big deal out of this. But Gen Z now, this guy started acting up. She was acting up so bad that the mother um, now spoke with her husband and asked her husband if it's gonna bother the husband if they have to change her daughter from her first marriage, if they have to change her last name to the new husband's last name. So the husband said, I really don't have no problem, but you need to contact her dad. If her dad is okay with that, then we're cool. So the mother contacted her dad and notified, that is her ex now, and notify her ex that your daughter is acting strangely. She said because you are not being active in her life, she don't want to be going around life with your last name. So she want to change her last name to my husband's name. And the father lost it. The father lost his mind. Like, what? How dare you? And the dad didn't just lost his mind. He's now taking it out on her current husband, going around telling people that the current husband is trying to steal his daughter from him. So I'm going to play the video and then I'll come back and give my 2 cents. You know how we do it here on Okubeno. I give my 2 cents, and hopefully anyone out there who want to contribute, you can join us. This is a very short live, so because I'm going to be live on African Podcast in the next 40 minutes from now. So if you're watching and you want to contribute 1 or 2 things to the discussion, you can use that link to join me. But here is the video I'm reacting to.
First, her dad is refusing to cooperate and is sending threats to my husband, saying he will die before he sees someone change his daughter's surname, and that my husband is conspiring to replace him. Surely child's mental health should be the priority. What do you guys think?
This is a deep one. Her feelings are definitely valid, but at the end of the day, she is her father's child. She's also an adolescent going through the feelings and puberty, and she has a right to feel that way. I think baby girl needs to keep her name. That's still her papa.
I wouldn't mind changing it, because why am I keeping a name of someone that doesn't even care about my existence anyways? The person I'm holding on to their name is not doing nothing for me.
Kaakati, my daughter wants to change her surname. Me and my ex-partner split up 11 years ago, and we had 1 child together when I was 16. My daughter, who is now 14. I have since moved on and been with my now husband for 10 years. We have 3 children together. When we married, I changed my surname to my husband's, and all our 3 children have his surname. My 14-year-old daughter has always had an issue with the fact that she's the only person in our family that has a different surname. She has her father's surname. But as her father is barely in her life, she's never consistent, she now wants to change her surname to my husband's. He has been the only father she has really known. She struggles at school with teachers, friends, asking why her and her siblings have different names. And even our children have now started asking the same questions. Her temper and attitude have gotten worse, and she's now saying she wants to run away. She's not part of this family, and she's constantly disrespecting me and my husband. I'm considering getting her name changed, but my husband says I must get her father's approval first. Her dad is refusing to cooperate and is sending threats to my husband, saying he will die before he sees someone change his daughter's surname, and that my husband is conspiring to replace him. Surely child's mental health should be the priority. What do you guys think?
This is a deep one. Her feelings are definitely valid, but at the end of the day, she is her father's child. She's also an adolescent going through the feelings and puberty, and she has a right to feel that way. I think baby girl needs to keep her name. That's still her papa.
I wouldn't mind changing it, because why am I keeping a name of someone that doesn't even care about my existence anyways? The person I'm holding on to their name is not doing nothing for me.
Kaakati, my daughter wants...
All right. So that's the story right there. The daughter wants to change her last name. She felt she did not belong to the family because dad wasn't active in her life, and The way she goes out and people kind of address her differently from her siblings, that was also getting to her. So let me know what you think in a comment. But here is my take, real quick. I know divorce is not easy, and I know we've spoken variously about issues like this, especially when you have kids from your prior marriage and you are remarrying. And I would like to talk to men first and then probably tell the ladies one or two things as far as this matter is concerned. So, first, men, I want to tell you right now, divorce is never the end of your life. And your children shouldn't be the one that suffers from your divorce. As a father, if you are divorced and your ex move on, nothing should stop you from taking care of your responsibility. Those kids you have with your ex-wife are carrying your blood. Listen, money is one thing, love, compassion, being there, bonding with your kids are all a different ballgame. This little girl that we're sharing her story right now, even though she's 14, she probably still haven't accepted her stepdad like her dad. And the reason is because she carries the father's last name. So it's like every day when she goes to school, her father's last name remind her that she's a product of a broken home. Listen, the mom is remarried to a great guy, a fantastic father, to three other kids. But yet, this girl felt that she is kind of isolated. So, men, take care of your responsibility. Even if you don't have money to take your kids to Disneyland or buy them the most expensive gift in the world or something, but you showing up, even if you walk hard to school or during PTA meetings or they have anything going on, you shows up and you were there, that goes a long way with your daughter. Now, listen to the guys in the video. The guys were so fast to say, hell no. Why should I keep your last name? That's to tell you that if you are not showing up for your boys, they can drop you just like that. So I just have to talk to men here. On one of our show here on Uncle Beno, hey, shout out to you, Karen. How you doing? In one of our show here, I mentioned this and I said, if you have issue with your ex, that is between both of you. But as a man, you don't want to have issues with your kids. Because let me tell you, when your kids are younger, maybe they are like age 2 all the way to like 6, 7, it's okay. You can hide under the pretense that, oh, the mom is brainwashing them, the mom is manipulating them, blah 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 blah. That's fine, that's okay. That's like the usual excuses that men made. But you see, with the kids we have these days, when they hit age 8, 9, 10, 11, going 12, oh, their mama don't have to tell them nothing. Because now they see what is happening with their peers. They see their peers' dad, what their father is doing for them, how their dad is always around, and stuff like that. So if you don't show up, by the time your baby hit age 12 and finally getting to 13, becoming a teenager, your baby will have problem with you. It's no longer your ex. Yeah. Thank you, Kerry. Kerry said, most ex have this word called insensitive and insecure. Absolutely. When your kids hit age 12, 13, and you still don't show up, now it becomes a battle between you and the children. It's no longer between you and your ex-wife. So as a man, do the right thing. Do the right thing. In the situation here, this girl right now that just want to change her last name, I don't blame the mom because I think the mom did the right thing. The mom at least speak with her husband first. She tried to see if it's okay with the husband, if the daughter can actually use his name. And the husband also did the right thing. Remember, this is a great guy. The husband also said, I ain't got no problem with that, provided you speak to his dad and he's okay with the dad. The only problem now, is the dad, which is the ex-husband. So I'm just gonna leave it this way by advising for women. This is what I'll tell you. You really can't do much with this Gen Z. As a dad, I knew once they hit age 14, 15, 16, you really can't do much. But you can still speak sense and wisdom into them. You can explain to your daughter that, hey, the reason you have to keep your father's last name is for identity's sake. So that when you start having children and peradventure your dad got married again and he have other kids and those kids are also having children, you want to avoid the situation whereby your kids might end up meeting each other, thinking they were strangers, not knowing they are actually from the same lineage. Also, the family. The dad is the deadbeat, but the daughter is still from the father's bloodline. There can be an uncle, there can be a friend, the dad friends, uncle, brother, siblings, and many of them who could be in a position of power or a position of affluence tomorrow, and she might need help. Name recognitions matters. So imagine your daughter just graduated from the university. Maybe she studied aerospace engineer or maybe a doctor or something, and she needed to be hired, especially if it is somewhere like Africa, where connection determines everything. Now she need a job, and the person in the position to help her is actually her relation. But because there is a name change, it's going to be difficult for her to explain herself out. I'll give you an example. Maybe the last name is Johnson, and her mom husband that she switched to is Abraham. Now she got to a place where she needed help, and she see that the man in charge last name is Johnson. Now, if she's going to try to explain to that man that, hey, I'm a Johnson, am I going to look at her? Hell no, you are Abraham. Your resume says you are Abraham. So how are you a Johnson? And then she starts story. So please, outside these two, I really don't see any reason why she can't do what she wants to do. But please, men, be active in your kids' life. Hey, Simbi, what's up? How you doing?
Good evening, Uncle Ben. Good evening,
Hey,
sir.
evening,
How are you
Simbi.
doing today, sir?
I'm doing better than I deserve, Mama. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
So have you
So
been
good
listening to
to
the story?
it's so good to be on Uncle Ben. No, congratulations to us.
Yes, so we're back, baby. We're back. I'm gonna be going.
Uncle Ben, do you remember that I started with you on Uncle Beno?
Yes, now. Then we migrated to African podcast.
African podcast, yes, and I fell in love with African podcasts.
Yeah. So we're gonna be having a show in African podcast in about 20 minutes. But as I'm rounding up here, what's your take on this matter? You heard this story, right?
Yes. I heard you when you talked about it a little bit.
Okay. No, it's a simple thing. A daughter, a 14 years old daughter, because the dad was not active in her life and her mom has remarried to another handsome dad. Her mom had three other kids with her new husband, and the husband is taking care of her and everything. But there is a problem. At school, the last name isn't the same. So her younger brothers, they all go with her stepdad's name, while she still answers her real dad's name. So she started disturbing her parent that she want to change her last name to her stepfather's name. So the mom asked the stepdad if that is okay. The stepdad said yes, no problem, but they need to inform her dad if it's okay by with her dad. They inform her
The
dad,
biological.
yeah, the biological dad, and the dad started throwing tantrum, calling the man names, accusing the man of trying to take his baby girl away from him and all that. So, what would be your advice to both parties? Hello, Simbi. Oh, network. Simbi. All right. Um, if you're here, join me on Uncle Beno's. Join me on African podcast. We have so much to
You should not
discuss.
call me.
Hey, Simbi.
Yes, boss. The network just threw me out. Like
Yeah, I
it was
lost you
frozen.
there. Yeah. So, what's your take?
Okay, I think first of all, I keep saying this as a dad, you should do well so that all these issues will not start popping up in the future. And I don't know what happened between the mom and dad, but I heard you when you said it's very important for every child to keep their father's last name, even though he's a deadbeat, for
Yeah.
identification purposes. And I agree with that part. But it doesn't change the fact that it can be very annoying when the person who is supposed to be there for you is not there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but that identity you spoke about is very important, that you know where you're from and then you identify with your own family, even if your father is not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that. Even though let me say 3 months ago, Uncle Ben, I'll probably be disagreeing with you on this, but I understand where you're yes, so I understand what you're saying and I understand where you're coming from. That identity thing, that's just the only reason why she should keep that name. Every other reason is not
Mm. Yeah.
is not valid. Every other
Yeah.
reason is not valid.
Is
Yes.
the identity
So
matters.
yeah, just for identity's sake. And this is also an opportunity to tell dads to do better. Even if you're not with the mother of your kids, you can still do better. Do better in such a way that your daughter will not want to drop your name for another man's name. I mean, come on. She came from you, she came directly from you. So if as a dad, your child is saying they want to drop your name, I think you're failed. This is not about the separation now because there are kids who their parents are living separately, but they still very much keep their father's name and they
Yeah.
still love their stepdad. So it depends on the relationship that he had with his daughter. If we even Uncle Ben, I don't know if you've seen this post where people are saying this girl on social media, May Edochie's daughter on social media is not bearing y'all. People are
Mm-hmm.
fighting her. They're saying no matter what, he's your dad. He's going to do this. And Uncle Ben, just like you said, Gen Z don't really care much about consequences. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't
Yep.
care.
Yep.
Like they do things.
Their
Sir,
brain they their brain are back. Right? Their brain they.
exactly. They might do things and later say, "Oh, I shouldn't have done this." So, but you know what? I don't really care. It's not my
Uh,
fault. The other
uh,
person should have done well.
yep. All right, we have
So
to move over to African podcast now. So just round up so that we can go and do all these shows that are lined up on African podcast. So what's your final
okay.
take, Cindy?
Okay, my final take is the girl should not change her last name. Let her just bear her father's name for
Okay.
future purposes so that she won't be having issues in the future. And she shouldn't worry about changing her last name because when she eventually gets married, she can decide to take her husband's name. That's just my take. Let me not
All right.
take too much.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you. Okay, we have Chinko here for the first time. She's calling in on Uncle Beno. Chi baby, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh,
Wow, wow, wow. It's good to hear your voice, Mama. How is everything? I guess you want to drop your 2 cents on this topic, right? Hello, Chico. Hey, yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
All right. So, what's your take on the topic?
Okay, you are talking about my ex want to change my daughter's last name.
Yes.
Well, it could be many reasons why the ex want to change the daughter's last name. Maybe for family purpose and connection of parental stuff.
Yeah.
But as for me, this out of a thing, especially when the lady is with another man, all of a sudden the earth came, say we want to change the daughter's surname. Indirectly, is trying to claim his daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe we want the daughter to remember him wherever she grow old. Well, this is sensitivity and insecurity. That's what they do have,
Mm.
especially when the man does not have anything to do with the responsibility about the child. You didn't care about the child. You didn't do anything. You denied the child when she was pregnant. All of a sudden, you just jump in and said you want to change me. Who does that? I will agree on it.
Thank
In
you, my
fact, you go
sister.
carry am go police case sef or court case anywhere you want.
Well, I think this matter gonna end up being an issue between the dad and the daughter. All right, Tosi, I see you are in the building. Tosi, what's your last take so that I can round up? I schedule a show on African podcast and I don't want to keep people waiting. So, Tosi, what can you say about this issue right here? Hello, Tosi. Hey, Tosin.
Hello,
Oh,
sir. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
So, I can hear you. So, what's your take?
Take about this issue is that I think just like the last caller said, I think this person seeking, demanding that his ex change his daughter's last name to his ability as a father over the child. So for him even calling to seek that the child get his name is something disturbing. That means he has not been fulfilling his responsibility as a father over her, and then he's now seeking. Maybe he's trying to save his face. Maybe he's trying to buy time, like cash up with the child, following the neglection. Should I
Right.
use that word? Negligence on his part
Mm-hmm.
since the child was born.
No, he's
So I
just
think,
bitter. He's just bitter. The child bear his name, but the child just feel like
oh,
she's not comfortable moving around with the name because she has three other siblings who belongs to her stepdad, and her stepdad is a great dad. Sometimes
oh,
when women have kids and they remarry, and their new husband is a great dad that takes care of all the kids, the kids,
equally.
when they remember that they are actually the daughter or sons of someone else, it breaks their heart at times. It breaks their heart like,
Exactly.
oh, Why can't this stepdad just be my real dad? He's the one who is here. He's the one who is doing everything. Why do I have to belong to someone else? You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I just want people to learn from this that, especially men, when you abandon your kids, you are creating more problem. You're creating more trouble.
Enmity. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Something like
um,
this played out some between Tokwe Alabi and a child's father. The child is still bearing Soji Alabi now instead of
mm,
that name uh because the dad abandoned her
when she was pregnant.
yeah
Oh
yeah
wow.
yeah yeah.
Anyway, so sorry I have to
Well,
stop
Shaki,
there.
sorry to cut you. Sorry to cut
No
you.
problem. Go ahead.
Something, this kind of thing, when you have a daughter or a son, and you are about to get married or into a relationship that will lead you to marriage, and the person you are dating or the person you are getting married to accepts your daughter or your son, our advice for the man, I mean for the woman, maybe to go to court case, sign a document like
Mm,
when you're about to marry, this man is surely the father of my daughter, or this man is surely going to be my his father or the father, so that in case of tomorrow, earth or earth or whatever won't come left and right and start claiming, hey madam, give me my daughter, hey madam, change the daughter name, shebi na me give you belle. Not like that, it doesn't go that way. So
mm.
that's the advice I will give it to the woman. Go to the court, find a document. Ah, yes, this
Uh,
man is going to be the father of my daughter,
you
nobody
see,
else.
Princess, unfortunately, that is not how it works. The only way her new husband can be the father to her daughter is through
No,
her
no,
daughter.
it's right for the man, the daughter, sorry. It's right for the daughter and the son to recognize the real father.
Hmm.
But the mother that married the man, you see his father too. See the father too. You can't just abandon adopted father and go to the real father. Where was he? Why can't he marry the mom?
Mm. Anyway,
Uh,
it's a complicated matter because that's why I tell people to be very, very careful. When your children are the one revolting, it's even more dangerous. It's no longer me and my ex. Once it's the child that is saying, "This is what I want," oh, that's now a big deal. I was having this conversation backstage with one of my friend, and when she described the situation, I agree with her because in a way, once these kids hit age 20, 21, they are now making their own decision. If they want to change their name, they change their name. At that time, you can't blame their dad. So my advice to every dad out there is that step up, take care of your responsibility. Even if you are not in talking terms with your ex, make sure you do right by your kids. All right, Tosin and Simbi, we're gonna meet up on African podcast. I'm gonna close this out now. So when I come back, we're gonna discuss another matter. But right now, we have a lot of issues going on in Nigeria and African space, and we have to treat them all on African podcast. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please remember to hit the like button, hit the like, do me a favor. Don't be a stranger. This is Uncle Beno. We are back here now. And over here, we talk about life lessons, relationship, marriages, and many other stuff. But on Uncle Beno, we do trending matters that concerns Africa. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.